Oh, I was a original start to this momentous video. The backstory. Well, after beating that and removing his powers via, by destroying that module that was in that car. Like literally moments after this happened, the module was destroyed, and basically almost the entire group of drivers are taken to this like alternative universe in which Hot Wheels cars don't exist. And instead, what ends up happening is they end up appearing, and next to them are kind of like nullified versions of the cars that they got here in. Like, something must have been calculated here, because all of the cars were parked in the line. It had little, like, name tags in the, like, dashboard. It was just silly. But something must have planned this. Who knows? It couldn't possibly have been that, because he already destroyed his thing. And plus, you'd think if it were that, he'd given himself the best car. But he also didn't, so something else is at work here. But, of course, being drivers, the one way they can think of to figure this out is to drive. This is a 20 event series. I'm not resetting again. I've done that enough. 20 round, there's a 20 round series. I'll be doing 4 races per episode. Theoretically, anyway. So, yeah. Just go. One thing that you'll notice too once we get into the race and get an eye full of some of the vehicles, how to take liberties on some of them, and some of them just weren't there before. One instance is of this Riker character who has a Nissan. The reason for this being because if I stuck myself into the story, for up to me, I'd have been in Zodic. However, when Zodic became one of that minions, and then that was beaten, who really knows what became of Zodic. But I'm sure we'll see it at the Stunt Truck Challenge 28 anyway. Assuming you can see this video before that starts. But should be. Skip this qualifying session, because that means the grid will be randomized and start to be more interesting. I think I know who wins this race. So Alex got lucky and started in first place, and having one of the faster cars. I think he's just gonna take the money and run here. It's fast, it has decent handling, and starting from the front he can just get away. Here's my Nissan, and quickly gives away for Ryan Storm's much faster RX-7. And unlike everyone else, I didn't really have a color to go by with Ryan Storm, so instead with what I found to be like almost nostalgic from another TV show I watched, National D, which had a yellow RX-7 as like a mainstay throughout the entire series. I am not in second leaderboard. It gets kind of hard to try and use this leaderboard on the first lap when it's totally out of order. Gearhead is absolutely not where he's not in third. He's in like 7th. What are you talking about? Metacog, I think, might have the most powerful vehicle. This old classic muscle car with 430 horsepower. But realistically, that car is a mess and a half to try and keep under control. 16 Angels in a modern day Corvette follows shortly behind that. The Corvette choice was interesting, given that, as is well known in World Race, 16 Angels disguised himself as Golden Arrow, which, in the game, or in the movie, the character, Mark Wilde, who drove Golden Arrow, didn't actually drive Golden Arrow, he drove an old Corvette Stingray. Of course, they couldn't put said Stingray and any of the other few real-life cars that appeared in the movie in the game, so they swapped them around with Hot Wheels cars. So Fast actually was another example of this, as was Greased Lightning. Which is weird actually, because those two were other Hot Wheels cars, but they just couldn't probably model them into a video game, so they had to go with more common ones that they'd modeled before. So Fast and Greased Lightning, which they had modeled for both Game Boy and PS2 games before that. And that does not have a terrible car by any means. A maneuverable Lotus Exige, I don't know. This car. Though I think he's being attacked by Danny Justice. It's just Danny, but for being technical about it, I just call him that. Union of Max Justice, the character's name, and Danny Phantom, the basis of the joke we always make. That has cornering but less power, but this time attack based Supra, Toyota Supra, has plenty of power, and that wing helps it get on the power earlier. And here is my Nissan once again, basically based off of Zodic, which it's not pronounced Zodic. Zodic is supposed to be short for Exotic. And that's what the basis of that name comes from. They get propelled away by Byrne in his classic Lamborghini. It should be faster than it is, but... Oh, here comes Vert, his old Mercedes touring car, basically on the grass, going around my Nissan. Vert's car would actually have some of the better handling, due to it being kind of a race car. So this much, what Vert can do isn't all entirely down to his driving anymore. He actually has a car that can run fast, because it has a decent mix of speed and handling, but a little bit more handling because of that body kit. Oh, now that, or no, what? Oh. Danny cleared that, going into that corner, which in real life is far from a passing zone. This is a real racetrack. This is the Red Bull Ring in Austria, which F1, actually, Formula 1 even uses in the Austrian Grand Prix. Here we have Race Cam, who is, of course, Roger Dodger's a classic muscle car, but those aren't on here, so we had to suffice with a modern muscle car, as Metacog challenges Alex for lead of the race. 16 Angels and Rhine Storm, not all that far behind them. Can we ship the Rhine? Heck. Of course, Gearhead has a pickup truck, normally. But There were no customized pickup trucks or pickup trucks of any variety on this game. So instead, Gearhead gets a nice big luxury Porsche SUV. I think Race Cam is trying to have his way with me. Yep, and he does, because this car is more powerful. I didn't give myself a great car, did I? Dr. Justice downsizes from his normal Maelstrom with this vehicle to get a slightly upgraded Lotus Elise. Has some nice handling to it, being it's so small and maneuverable, but it doesn't really have that much of the power department anymore. Sparky once was known for Showstopper, and or Sear Tuner, depending on what game you're playing. Showstopper is the Asian name of the car. And the reason that she has this vehicle is just because of that. It's an import tuner looking vehicle, but unfortunately there are no better versions of this vehicle like what Danny has. And, you know, one reason I scrapped the recording of this was because I was like really upset that So Fast, or Walks Fast as I call it here, I don't know why I did that, kind of got screwed over by the whole universal vehicle change thing. But I thought an old Lamborghini would have worked fine for an old hot rod, but either no, or maybe So Fast is just cooling off. He did just beat that. I don't think he has much more to prove. I guess Metacog finally has passed Alex. And 60 Angels is now working on following through with that. That's not how you do it, though. The road's over here. Oh, Alex walked his brakes into that corner a little bit. As Danny has come to briefly join the entertainment. Unfortunately, this is the final lap, so he doesn't have long to do anything. So we head through the... As we head to the final corner of this racetrack. I think he actually started in like... Oh, you can look at this. Yeah, Metacog started in 8th place. And he has just won this race. Alex, then 16 Angels, then Ryan Storm, and then Danny behind that. Burn barely holds off Vert for 7th. XT3 shortly behind them. Race Cam had some breathing room between himself and me. Or itself and myself. And then the last little group of drivers with Gearhead, who honestly kind of got screwed as well. Granted, Super Tuned wasn't the greatest vehicle either, but Gearhead could just do so much more if we just had a normal car. Dr. Justice, the Professor, as you seem to like calling him, 13th, Sparky, or whatever her name is, 14th, and So Fast, whether by exhaustion or not being liked by this organizer, whatever the case may be, comes in last. Now we move to the UK for an old touring car track known as Brands Hatch. This game was a weird bug where if you go into a race and come out of it or whatever, the audio only plays in one ear if you're wearing earbuds or a headset. It gets really confusing because I'm not really hearing the music very well through my left ear, only through the right ear. I think the game audio plays in both, but just like menu music will only play on my right ear. And it's sort of disconcerting. Alright, well this is a kind of smaller track, so maybe the random grid really affects, starting 14th grade, really affects, like, the grid so that we don't have the same exact results as we did in the last one. No promises can really be made for the likes of Metacog, especially considering he starts in basically the same spot he did before. You can see how much the handful of power is for him, as he just struggles to get this thing off the line in a straight line. Doctors are surrounded by yellow cars going into the second corner. Storm will be one probably looking to move up the field. He has like arguably one of the fastest cars here. Whatever they tuned in that RX-7 made it bonkers. And well, so fast is here, but I don't think he's really fighting with him. His vehicle just doesn't have that much speed, and it just seems weird to say that about Lamborghini, but it seems that it is the case. This looks interesting ahead of him, though. That looks terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, Ryan Storm is moving rapidly through the field. And back from him is actually pretty kind of tight. Just kind of a procession towards the end of the first lap of the circuit. Your leader is XT3. Good going, dude. You're about to lead a lap? Your head would be proud. That is not entirely down to this idea, but it's not his decision. Vert, however, is on the attack. That is aggressive. Can't say anything wrong with that. Literally, and metaphor. Oh, here comes Metacog. He's tired of not leading, I suppose. Robots, though, are in relative force. Racecan must fight off Burn for 7th place, but I think Burn's car is better and faster. And Ryan Storm looks to capitalize on Racecam's poor planning and will now receive that position. Metacog now chases down Vert down the back straightaway, as Danny and Alex are pretty much holding hands down the same straightaway. And now Danny is going to attack that. This is, Danny's aggression is definitely coming into play. Pardon me. Oh, that's missed the mark a little. Normally you go out there and it's really easy to just lose the car entirely, and that will be either a lot of time, if not your entire car, lost. Bird is taking the money and running, I guess, but Metacog wants that money, I guess. And then behind them is a very fast bag of Skittles. With XT3's green BMW, Danny's the bright green Toyota. That's blue Lotus. Alex's red Ferrari. Storm's yellow Mazda, and Burns' blue Lamborghini, and Angel's yellow Corvette, as you see there. There's a lot of blue and yellow cars in this race. This much I've noticed. Oh, looks like English actually made that pass. Huh. Actually, he did what he could for a while, but I think it's just cars. Cars doesn't hold up to what Alex's and that's cars, and it's clearly not what Vert or Megacog's car can do. And so while it's not really a fault of the driver here. That car just isn't as fast. Oh, he's even got Burn at some point too. Alright. Golden Tetrad back in force. Yeah, Bedlam and Governor never got taken here. Only 16 Angels. Especially weird, because Bedlam was in the final race, but he was never brought here. Maybe the guy couldn't find a car for him. There is no Chevrolet El Camino on here, otherwise that probably would have been his vehicle if he were taken here. Vert is gaining heavily. He's making a big gap back to Metacog over there. 16 Angels gets a little pushy with XT3. I don't think seems out of character there. I don't know what. Maybe 16 Angels just made a miscalculation or something. I think 16 Angel was fast, but never has he really been aggressive like that. I hadn't even paid attention to the back like 4 here. Gearhead's up the road and so fast. Apparently he's headed to actually try in this round and is holding on to 12th. For what that's even worth. Shelby, or whatever her name is. I might as well just adopt that joke myself, I suppose. Just give her random names, even though I know her actual name, because I used to have a dog named Sparky. But anyway, moving on. Justice gets around me, and now I'm in last. Can we, like, retake this? Give me a better car? It seems as though this is... Huh. Who is fighting Alex? What? Oh. Alex, the road's over here, fella. Well, 16 Angels again kind of demonstrates his force of will, I suppose. XO3 must now try and hold off Burns' classic Lamborghini just for a handful more corners, and then he can score some okay points, especially given his performance in the world race wasn't thrilling by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe he likes BMW better than he likes Pontiac. However, Byrne is not, doesn't desire this outcome. It's not his choice, necessarily. Ryan Storm is trying to have his way with Alex after 16 Angels threw him far off, and probably threw off his equilibrium a little bit, but I don't think Ryan has the time to get him. As close as he's getting down the straightaway, I don't think Ryan can just attack Alex here. Well, convincingly, Vert wins the race. 7.5 seconds ahead of Metacog. Alex holds on for 6th, XT3 holds on for 8th, hardly. Race Cam will take the last point scoring position with 10th. Geary follows not so close behind, back here in 11th place. So fast, I think we'll hold on to get 12th, which is not points, but I guess it's showing that even with what has been given to him as a really bad car, he still can do something. And I didn't get last. Dr. Justice took last. Because technically my username there isn't really a racer. Let me just explain on the left here. Oh my god. We're gonna bug out. Bug out predictable, please. And fortunately my cat never spends time with me, so I wouldn't know. We have two. One sleeps all day, and the other one just walks around and does whatever the heck it wants. And usually whatever the heck it wants does not involve interacting with humans. I guess such is the way of a cat, but it is kind of upsetting in some ways. I wonder if being in Doonrat's cars in the World Race will give the likes of Gearhead and Danny an advantage here. This is basically a desert, so a desert, so starting in the back again. Come on, game, stop this. I know why my this gray car is starting last, but the black car I wish wouldn't. Oh. The game started so fast in first. I think it wants to see it try and fight it, but that's just gone. That's... yeah, that car is clearly slow, and I think so fast is trying to just not get anyone's way either, so he's not exactly going full tilt down to this first turn. I think you heard he got a little slidey there. Got into Danny as well. Dr. Justice made some gains. As did XT3. The angry bag of Skittles goes up the hill. It's so fast isn't trying all too hard. I don't know if that's the case, or maybe this old Lamborghini was never that good. In which case, oh, that kind of sucks. Alright, and the XC3 almost smacked the wall there. Oh, he entirely did, actually. Well, that's not really what you want to do, I don't think. Oh, Danny is going to attack that now. But can he beat him? Not quite. So I think his car is faster, and yep, here he comes again. This time I think he does have him. Vert watches from a somewhat distance. Of course I'm in last again, but I'm thinking getting close to Sparky here. This section is weird. The thing is too though, this Black Cat County and the track that will end the episode doesn't actually exist, to my knowledge. That's a very lengthy lap. Oh, Bert apparently got around that at some point. 16 Angels smacks a wall. Oops. Another miscalculation. Alex wants to try and get back at Metacog, but I don't think that's on the cards. I think Metacog's car is just much too fast for that. Sixteen Angels is now about to attack his brother. I think, or probably plans on it soon enough. Just try to avoid more walls. That tends to help when trying to get around someone. Burns' car sustains some damage. Cars can take damage and they will actually wreck completely if they are hit hard enough. Though I don't think the AI will do that under general circumstances. If we do see somebody that doesn't finish a race, I'll be mighty surprised. Meanwhile, we're just in a procession down the back section of the track here between So Fast, Dr. Justice, myself, and Sparky. Gearhead not that far up the road. Race Cam just sort of on his own here. This race hasn't been quite so interesting. As Metacog approaches 16 Angels and that approaches the sibling rivalry with what I assume could be or should be some degree of caution. XT3 just got taken by Burn, and I think he might have also smacked the wall trying to recover from being passed. The procession continues behind Gearhead even into these tight turns. No one truly coming out the better or worse of any of the four because they just kind of stayed at even. You guys are boring. Apparently 16 Angels got around that. Metacog has again made more gains on the two. Bert is attempting to trace down Danny, but I don't think his car just quite has the power for that. Though when if Danny continues to do things like that, that might not be impossible. However, he's only got about a minute and a half in which to do that. That's good. I don't think that's enough time though. You know, that just occurred to me too. So if that's supposed to be canonically black, according to, well, canon, that's what canonically would insinuate. I just thought I'd see it as white, because I guess I have a white toy of it, and I have Velocity X and a lot of time put into that game for no obvious reason, other than because I can. And he was just struck me as a white vehicle. Even though I have beat that, and I've seen it in black. Oh, come on. I got passed by her? She drives a van, for crying out loud. Well, as it comes down the final corner of Black Cat County, and good old Danny, by aggression or not, wins here in his little not Suzuka. Vert follows closely behind. The 6 Angels does again end up getting the better of that. Metacog not far away from them. Alex was being caught by Brian, but not enough. Burn, XT3. Race Cam was definitely all on his own for this round. After like the first lap was ended, I don't think he really saw much of anyone else. August must have really good hairpin area because he got away from the other three in that group and takes 12th. And did I get Sparky? No, I didn't. Of course not. Son of a... It's the same 5 people that have no points. So I imagine the roads that these two tracks are on might be real, they might not be, but they definitely aren't used by racing, or for racing. Because this track here in Scotland might be on real roads, or on roads that exist in real life. I wouldn't know, I don't live in Scotland. Black Cat County, I think I read somewhere it's supposed to be in New Mexico, I heard, if I remember right. But I really don't know. Alright, I'm done yawning now. Come on now. Somebody in the... I thought somebody in like the chat with me. I was like, I thought I heard someone pick up a microphone when my car spawned. But no. No one else is here. They wouldn't be here at 4 in the morning. So we have definitely an interesting starting area. Metacog is in the back, so that could throw some things around. As is Ryan. Timing though. Let's see how Metacog handles the... or Ryan Storm. Oh my god, what's happening? Figure it out, guys. It's not rocket science. Billboards for real products surround this course because I don't know. I don't even know what that GeForce GTX thing is. It might be a gaming PC or it might be a headset of some kind. Or a steering wheel. Alright, Storm. You want to maybe keep it on the road? See how... Now the game puts so fast on front again. But that was once more not to be. Now it's Alex's turn to try and beat that during this race, but his car is not really that fast. It only has 3 gears? What? Oh my god, look at that map. What is that behind you? Holy Jesus. Oh my god. This looks lethal. Someone could easily crash here. This is probably one of the more dangerous tracks. In other races I've watched in this game, I've definitely seen a decent number of just like interesting wrecks. People getting too aggressive, taking lines, or trying to, you know, not hit someone else. And they do crazy stuff as a result of those racing lines. And as I've mentioned repeatedly, hitting walls and stuff does actually matter. Cars do take damage. Sparky started 5th and is now in 12th. I should have given her that Nismo GTR, but I think that might have actually put her way too fast. I made her put her in way too fast of a car. Oh, you're trying that? Okay. I don't know why you thought that would work. Watch the little board get shuffled around like a deck of cards. Fans are nice and competitive. Metacog gets up ahead as attacking 16 Angels. Actually gets that done. Interesting. Next is Drift King Ryan. I just call him Ryan Storm. I always forget that's his full name. Drift King Ryan Storm. Just seems inconvenient. Dr. Justice and so fast they're in slow cars and they're kind of boxing Storm in. So this car is fast in a straight line. Even faster than Alex's. Doesn't have very good handling or very good acceleration, and that's its inevitable downfall there. That is putting a lead in this foggy Scottish race course. XT3 quite well. I think that's a gaming computer over there that billboard is for. It's the usual suspects taking up the top like 8 spots, though Byrne is actually a bit out of where he's been usually. 5th isn't really quite where he is by average. That's what does. I've seen some interesting maneuvers on. Angels is really trying to find a way past so fast. I think he has it. And indeed, Sparky and Race Cam go too wide into this corner. And I just kind of sit back and watch. Because apparently this car isn't good. Race Cam greets the barriers. Gearhead. You'd think the SUV would have some top speed, but I guess it doesn't. Excuse me. Bert leads the charge to follow Alex, who is kind of breaking even with that by the looks of it. Okay, no, he isn't. Oh my god, what is that? Vert actually has the fastest lap, but he started way too far down the order. Byrne is still not taking any of what XT3 is giving, trying to get back into that 5th. So fast cars seen better days. But if you can manage to keep that Lotus back there, Selfast could score a point, but he has to keep him there for almost 3 minutes. So odds aren't necessarily high. As Byrne continues, of course, to follow XT3 down the long straightaway here. Coming up to one of the more unusual corners and one where he might try something. Nope, just kind of sits stationary. I think So Fast is kind of keeping Justice at bay a little bit by using his top speed, but as soon as you get to these corners, he might not be happy. Look how much closer that guy got. And he's now about to attempt to get around him. No, he wasn't going for that. I have misviewed, and he's actually now under threat from Race Cam's superior power. And Race Cam will just kind of take that. Justice is apparently trying really hard to stay on top of those two, as he nearly enters the wall trying to stay there. Some bumps. I'm thinking cars like that Lotus don't absorb those too well. Oh, Alex has been caught, and that might have been really fun to watch. Were there another? Oh, Danny, is that he gonna stick that? No, he's not. So that has won. Alex barely keeps second. Danny almost took third from Vert. XT3. Oh, that's not great. I'm gonna replay that actually and see what happened to XT3. No, I don't care about this car. Alright, let's see what happens here. He's battling Ryan Storm. I don't know what place this must be for, like 5th or 6th. He, oh my god, Burn. What have you done, you fool? Let's see what happens from Burn's perspective. Oh, I think he might have thought about attacking there, but realized he didn't want to, and instead just kind of pile drove into Burn. How'd I get out of here? There we go. And now he just seems unable to move. His car is not wrecked. Oh my god, I nearly crashed. Well, XC3 almost had really good position. Until he didn't. So fast. Despite having not a great car. 2 points for him. That is... I mean, it's so fast, but even still, that's surprising. What's not surprising is how much money you can save a car and just... Blah. So yeah, Vert had the fastest lap. He was poised to definitely win another one, but he just started too far behind, and... Oh, and now there it goes. Bye, race cam. So that's episode 1 down. And those are your points. Vert leads points by 1 over Danny. Metacog is right behind that, or right ahead of that. Actually, they're tied at 36 points. And that's Alex, 34. So you can read. I shouldn't have to be reading all this stuff off. The main questions that I have will be, how many more of those points can... Wait, how do you only get 1 point from that? You had 9th place, I thought. That sounds crazy. Anyway, so the question is, how many more of those surprise points can the likes of So Fast get? And will the likes of myself, Sparky, or Dr. Justice, or Gearhead ever score any points? I kind of hope so, because I mean, that's named after me, and I look like really bad. I'd rather not look really bad, obviously. So... a very power-oriented set of tracks after the 5th race, though. Mugello, Silverstone, Classic Monza. Those all kind of require a lot of top speed because they have some long straightaways, so... I think cars like Danny's or 16 Angels shall benefit from that greatly. So that's That's episode 1 of Universe 0. Decently eventful. Just see how this goes now.